Hello, everyone. We are live again. This is number 8. We've made it 8 episodes of Geek Speak live chat, and we still haven't got sick of each other yet. Well, me and Trevor and Willow haven't got sick of each other yet. We're sick of Will
Well, fuck you.
on his spinning chair. As
You're just
always,
jealous.
we'll introduce ourselves. I'm Rowan.
I'm Trevor.
Hello.
And I'm not cool enough to have a banner.
He does have a spinny chair, though. So I think we're somewhat organized today, or I quickly somewhat tried to organize, but I'm the most unorganized person alive, so I don't know how well that will go over. As always, we will start the discussion with comic news, new comics, all that great and dandy stuff. I think maybe we should start with probably what most people were pretty excited for this week, which was the Image comic announcement at what Comic-Con was it, Trevor? I don't even remember.
I thought it was its own. It was called Image Expo.
Oh, okay, yeah. See, there you go.
I thought it was
So,
an Image event.
so yes, Image announced a whole pile of books because I personally don't think Image has enough books already. Um, Do you want to talk a little bit about Trevor, like what you're looking forward to, you and Willow?
The cool thing about this expo was that I actually forgot all about it. With the Movable news, I wasn't even expecting an Image Expo, and now all of a sudden, between Movable and Image, we have like 70 new books announced. That was fun.
It makes our pull list feel good.
How's your wallet feel?
It's gonna hate everything about life.
There's not too many of the Image books I feel I must check out, but there's a bunch that I'm kind of interested in that I'll take a look at. Probably most notably, I'm most interested in Black Magic by Greg Rucka.
Yeah,
This will be Rucka's, I think, second Image comic, because he also is doing Lazarus as well, which is a book I want to check out.
I've never read any Lazarus, but everyone I know that reads it really likes it.
Same.
Anything stick out to you, Willow?
I want to read Black Magic, like Trevor mentioned. I want to read Heartless because I want to read a Warren Ellis comic. I've never read a Warren Ellis comic before, and everyone loves Warren Ellis, so I want to give him a try. There's one comic called Ringside coming out because I watch professional wrestling constantly, so I want to check that one out. And also want to check out the Gail Simone book, and I'm curious about Brian Lee O'Malley's book because I like Scott Pilgrim a lot.
The funny thing about that is I was a huge fan of O'Malley as soon as those Scott Pilgrim books all came out, and I always wanted him to do a monthly comic because I was sick of the long wait in between his books. And now I feel like that dream is finally coming true. I'll finally have a new O'Malley book each month.
It's about snot.
Trevor's dreams. Dreams can happen. That's funny. When I saw the Ringside preview, I was like, "There's no way either Trevor or Willow or both are not gonna get this."
That's close to the top of the list, yeah.
I sadly, a lot of the stuff look cool. I guess I'm really in a mode right now where I'm just being so picky with what I'm gonna pick up. As the stuff comes out and I hear reviews, I think a lot of the Image stuff I'm gonna do in trade and not singles. But the new Warren Ellis one, I definitely am interested in. I ended up really enjoying Supreme Blue Rose, so I'm interested to see what they do in terms of a horror comic. Are you gonna read Supreme Blue Rose in trade, Trevor?
Yeah, I'm actually gonna I'm going downtown today to the comic shop. I'm gonna pick it up when I go there today.
Yeah, I really wish I had bought it in trade because I think it would read a lot better in trade.
How many issues did you get up to in Wicked and Divine until you stopped with issues?
What issue are they on now?
12 came out this week.
I think I stopped it. I want to say like maybe somewhere between 8 and 10.
Because Volume 2 just came out this week, actually, and Volume 2 goes up to issue 11.
Okay. Yeah, well, I'm going to buy Volume 1 and Volume 2. Like, even though I own, like, double copies of all of Volume 1 issues, Auxiliary reads it better in trade, so.
The end of Volume 2, issue 11, is maybe the best comic I've read all 2015. It's amazing.
Really?
It's fantastic.
There's a lot of good comics that came out in 2015, so I'm pretty excited about that statement.
You should go ahead and get those books as fast as you can.
Such as, I don't think I've even mentioned it to you about the fiasco and anger of this new Truth. Yeah, it's called like a Truth arc going on with all the Superman titles. DC kind of screwed up the publishing order of it, so they've basically. I think we're in part 3 of this Truth event or storyline or whatever you want to call it, and because Action Comics came out before Superman, but part 1 was actually in Superman, not Action Comics.
How do you mess up with comics that big? Like, it's basically your flagship character.
I'm not sure, and I've actually heard that, I can't think of what other title it was, but another title that's kind of got like something going on that they screwed that up too. I've seen a lot of complaints since the launch of like this whole DCU. Luckily they came out like a week after each other, so I didn't really worry about it too much because I just read them in opposite order. But yeah, I thought it was kind of just a funny tidbit of information that they would screw up like such a flagship character like that. Funny things.
Can I get back to you for a second, actually?
Yeah.
One of the other books I wanted to check out at some point is a book called The Goddamned, which is written by Jason Aaron, based on Southern Bastards and Scalped.
Nice.
And The Goddamned is also a Western, this one set in biblical times. Basically, the way he pitched it was, what if Quentin Tarantino had directed Genesis?
Nice.
It's going to be a hit.
Jason Aaron is, in my opinion, on his way to becoming like one of, I mean, a lot of people view him as a top tier writer right now, but I think he will definitely be like legendary status eventually. He seems to kind of hit everything home run right now. Like anything I've read from him has been spectacular.
And you still haven't read The Goddess of Thunder.
I haven't. I plan on it. I do plan on it. That will be my first diving in of Thor. Because the only Thor I've ever read by itself is the 2 issues where New Warriors first appeared, and that was back when Thor was the other guy. I forget his name. But they did like a switch in the 90s or something. I don't remember his name. He was like a blonde guy because actual Thor like took a break, so it was almost like a Shazam thing where this guy could like turn into Thor.
I had no idea about that.
Yeah, it was really like it was just very early '90s. There's a lot of mullets in that comic, that was for sure. Did you want to talk about any of the DC number ones that you read? Actually didn't get any of them, so.
I've checked out a couple of them. Even though I have a Black Canary poster on my wall, I still haven't read that book yet, but I will be soon. Hopefully it doesn't let me down.
That's just a cool poster.
Yeah, but if the comic's not good, we'll have to take it down.
Well, no, because there'll be like rips all in it and stab marks.
Of the couple I've read, the one that stands out, I think it's called Midnighter. He's I don't even know who he is actually. Like he's just a new name to me, but he's actually I think he's now like the only open like homosexual superhero now that has his own solo book. Like no one in Marvel has that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's
He's
pretty
from
cool.
Nightwing, I think. Isn't
What was
he?
that?
He's from Nightwing, I think.
Maybe I don't know. I don't know him that well. But
I think I read that he's like a spin-off character because he was like he's like a anti-hero from Nightwing.
Yeah, that would seem to fit. But yeah, it was a fun issue one. I loved the drawings in it a whole lot.
Yeah. Did you end up picking up the what's it called? The Power Girl Harley Quinn?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got issue one because a friend of mine wants it, and then I've been picking up the issues and then giving them to my friend. I wasn't a big fan of issue one.
Oh, okay. I just remember we had talked about it last time we did Geek Speak. It was coming out, and I think we talked about it. And I said the reviews weren't looking good.
I'm a huge fan of when Amanda Conner is writing Power Girl, and I think that character is still fine in the book, but I really don't like Harley Quinn that much in this book.
Yeah.
Like she's kind of like this jokes through kind of like this Deadpool type character, but I really don't think that what they're doing fits in that book at all. I just thought she was obnoxious.
Sadly, like I said, I feel like they keep taking Harley Quinn's character and pushing her further and further into that obnoxious area. They want a Deadpool so bad. Oh, boy, sorry guys, that made me look really stupid. I'm sorry. I thought there was like a spot on my computer of dirt, and I kept wiping it. I'm like, man, it's not coming off, but it's just whatever's like on your wall, Trevor, and it was just on the screen.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, boy, I'm stupid.
Oh, now I have to clean my walls.
It's alright, man. So, well, do we want to go from there then and go, did we want to quickly talk about like some of the Boom stuff and everything like that has kind of been announced?
A few days ago, they announced that, well, actually, I think 12 months ago, they announced that Grant Morrison was involved with a secret Boom project, and it only came out last week what it was. But Morrison is doing a 5, maybe 6 issue miniseries about Santa Claus. And it's called Claus, K-A-L-U-S, and it's reimagining Santa Claus as this Conan the Barbarian type figure. He's really dark and brooding, and it's gonna like go into like his backstory and how he came to be.
It makes me
interesting. It kind of looks like it might be fantastic. We'll see.
I always love comics for some reason that have to do with Christmas that are like just so morbid and dark, and it's like my soft spot.
It's like Christmas at the Fraser house.
That's
Dark
right.
and morbid.
I like the Fraser family Santa always is like Conan the Barbarian. So then I suppose. Sorry, what was
Santa
that?
Claus the Santa Claus to have in the Claus preview image is like this big hulking guy. He looks like he just kills people daily. He hasn't washed in decades. He has
Nice.
this massive, like, really unkempt, disgusting beard. Probably like lots of food pieces in it. Maybe some fingers of people who he had to kill off on the
So,
street.
is this Conan the Barbarian Santa, or is this just a mall Santa?
This Santa looks like a total vagabond. It looks delightful.
So mall Santa.
Okay.
This is the Santa from the Avalon Mall. Well, do we want to get into the chunk of marble? The all the comics. I think, is that an understatement?
Well, it's not going to be all of the comics, because they originally announced there would be between 55 and 60 new comics, and are still about 10 shy of hitting that number.
Yeah.
I imagine they're splitting up the relaunch. Like, all of the books they announced will be coming out in October, but I imagine they have like a bunch of new ones coming out in November as well.
Yeah. I always thought it'd be really, really funny is I'd like to see like the first week in October they just put all of the comics out the first day.
God.
60 new comics in one day, set a record.
You're calling us one day, someone collecting all those comics is looking at like $300 something.
I was gonna say, but that's the sad thing is there's people out there that probably are going to buy all of them. And then try to sell them on eBay for $800.
$800 a book.
So is there anything that caught your eye, Trevor? Like, I'm assuming you're going to continue on with, like, Captain Marvel.
I will continue on with Captain Marvel, even though Kelly Sue DeConnick has moved on, so I'm not as excited as I would be in that comic, but I'm optimistic. The two writers on that comic, they both came from like the Agent Carter TV show. They've never written comics, so they're new. So Chris Anka is drawing the book. I love his style, so that gives me some hope as well. So yeah, I have no idea what the comic is gonna look like now without Kelly Sue DeConnick, but I'll still pick it up. Hopefully it's good. Angela is continuing.
I was going to say I was waiting for Willow to do the Happy Angela dance.
Yeah, I'm happy about Angela continuing. I'm gonna read Captain Marvel, and I'm happy that Miss Marvel is keeping the same crew intact for that comic, and we also going to read A-Force, and is that it? Thor still?
Still, because
Yeah.
Jason Aaron's still involved, so he's still continuing what he started. It's funny because the issue 1 of the new issue of Goddess of Thunder totally spoils the identity, kind of who it is.
Yeah.
So I feel like that cat is kind of out of the bag now.
Yeah.
The I have to say I don't plan on picking it up. I don't think, but the cover leak for all different Avengers looks fantastic.
Alex Ross did that one?
Yeah, well, obviously you knew I was gonna love it. I'll probably buy that issue just for the cover.
I'll buy that issue because I actually want to buy that book. I really hope it's a good book, because I want that to be one of my monthly books.
I like the I like the caption on it of one of the sites that pretty much all the sites took the information from, captioned the Avengers book where it just said the Avengers team, and then it was like ... with only one white person on it. Which I think is an exciting thing. I think it's awesome.
Speaking of creative team changes, Angela is continuing, but Kieran Gillen is not going to be on the comic. I think he's now taking a break from like Marvel Comics to focus on like the Image type stuff.
Yeah.
It's keeping the other co-writer though. But also, Angela issue 6, the last issue of the main continuity, introduced this really huge plot development, and I feel like now, because 8 months have passed, that they can't actually go into what this new plot was going to be, that they kind of have to just get past it now.
It was going to be like a huge story, like this other character that had died previously in the book, like had come back to life, and that was like inspiring Angela to like do her shit and be good and stuff. It was revealed that that character was actually like a demon posing as that character, and then they announced that like she has to like go and get her from the afterlife or something at the end of it, and then it's like then it just ends, and then they did Secret Wars, and now there's like this big gap in between, and now we have no idea if they're even going to do that, and it would have been really fucking cool.
And then,
yeah, Marvel.
And then I'm sure once you've decided you really enjoy this new run of Angela, Marvel will then announce another relaunch. Because they have to relaunch every 2 months.
I still think it's funny that they, like a year ago when they announced this, they're like, this is going to completely dismantle the entire Marvel universe, and now when they've, like, announced everything that's coming out, so little has changed.
If there's one thing you can really rely on with Marvel, it's that they're full of shit, in my opinion.
Wolverine, but now we have 2 Wolverines, so maybe that's what the whole plan was.
Yes, because all new Wolverine's female Wolverine now.
Yes, it's the X-23.
Yeah.
And we now still have Old Man Logan hanging around as well, both having solo books.
I'm interested to see if they both end up, like, if they both stick around for a while, or who knows.
I haven't read an Old Man Logan book, but is it really that much different from, like, the actual Logan? Just being old?
I feel like it isn't. He smokes cigars and gets angry. There's really...
That's a Wolverine book.
Yeah, like, really. I think what I giggled at with the relaunch was, I really giggled at the Hawkeye book. Because the Hawkeye book literally just came out. Like, #1 of Volume 2 came out, what, like 1 month ago? 2 months ago?
Well, it may have been 5 months by now, actually, but yeah.
And it's just like, so they're literally in less than a year, you're getting 2 #1s for Hawkeye.
You raise a good point, though, because there's actually a handful of books like this.
Yeah.
Angela only 6 issues. And then it's getting a new volume. Gwen got 5 issues, doing a new volume. Silk got 5 issues, now getting a new volume.
I feel as a guy that has, 3 long boxes of freaking Superman Volume 1 comics, I feel like 5-issue volumes just don't have the same kind of impact.
Also, Amazing Spider-Man has basically 1 volume from 1962 up to 2012. 700 issues, but now, in the last 2 years, Amazing Spider-Man got relaunched twice.
It's so crazy.
Marvel.
What?
Fucking up. Mhm.
And speaking of Spider-Man, we were talking about it over text. How awesome? That's a no. Is it that Spider fans are getting 7 Spider books now?
Actually, I looked back on the list, and depending on your definition, you could even go up to 9. Because Venom is getting a book, and Carnage is getting a book. So technically, they also belong to the same family.
So 9, like to me, like I remember when I got jumped in and got like into getting comics heavy, and I remember thinking like, oh my god, I'm glad I don't collect X-Men. They have like 3, 4 books. Like that's crazy. And now it's like now Spider-Man, the Spider World is getting 9 solo books, and I feel jaded because I'm just kind of like, well, you saw that one coming.
In solo books now, we have like Carnage and Venom, and Silk and Gwen, and Jessica Drew, and 2099, and Miles Morales, and The Amazing Spider-Man. And then we have, obviously, we have a Spider-Verse monthly book, because that is the event that will not die.
They see my biggest and my big thing is, for what I've read of Carnage, I find Carnage reads far better as just like a couple issue miniseries. I can't, like, I would have no interest in reading a Carnage ongoing.
He's such a one-note villain. He doesn't need a monthly comic.
Whatever, anything to drain money, I guess.
He's only famous because he looks cool.
Yeah, true. And also add to your list Ant-Man. Ant-Man only went what 5 issues,
Yeah.
and they're getting it. They're renaming it, and he gets a new #1 because they're going back to the '70s with Astonishing X-Men now. I'm trying to think of other things that interested me. Will, you'll be happy to know that their Deadpool is back. He's not dead. He was only dead for what, like 2-3 months?
I think there was enough time to get pizza with Lady Death. It's sad. Is the standard Wolverine, I'm assuming, is still dead, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully this Deadpool relaunch, he won't be all like Zen Deadpool. He'll be back to, let's just kill you because you ate my chimichanga.
I'm sure it will be. It's the same writer. Like, they didn't change writers. So it's the same guy that's been writing it.
Excellent.
Trevor, what did you think about the Deadpool cover?
Deadpool?
Or Daredevil. I don't know.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
There's a lot of debate online now. Is this second appearance is a Gambit? And that's kind of the big question now.
It looks like Gambit, man.
I kind of hope it's not Gambit. I don't see Gambit fitting into this comic. I don't know.
I don't see him
I hope
fitting
it's just like
either, but it really, like, his hair, he has the exact same hair, like, hair and everything.
I don't know. Maybe it's just a brand new character. We'll find out. Either way, though, it's going to be a good book, I think. I'm definitely buying it.
Daredevil's actually, that's going to be the first Daredevil comic I ever pull. I'm going to try it out.
Because I have a decent Daredevil collection, all in trade, so I figure I'll just keep that character with trades only now. Because I have all of Bendis, all of Brubaker, and all of Diggle's runs on Daredevil in books, so I'll just keep it like that.
See, now you make me feel bad, because now I'm kind of like, oh, maybe I want to get it in trade instead. I really like the fact that Charles Soule's writing it. Charles has not done me wrong.
I was really hoping though that maybe She-Hulk would be coming back as a monthly. So it still might. We still have a few new comics to be announced, but it
Yeah.
might be coming back. Who knows?
What about old Doctor Strange? Are you interested?
Not enough. I don't. I want to look at the book. Yeah, I think it looks cool, but I don't think I'll be buying the issues.
No. I'm going through the list to see what. Did we want to briefly talk about the Jeff Lemire X-Men?
I kind of feel like I want to jump back onto X-Men now, actually, because he's doing the flagship comic. I think it has a pretty good-looking theme. I wasn't a big fan of the X-Men when Bendis was in charge. Like, I actually checked out his All New X-Men and Uncanny X-Men. I just couldn't get into those books. But
Yeah.
now with Jeff Lemire in charge, I'm going to check it out. The problem with the X-Men, I find, is with Marvel not resetting continuity now in 50-plus years, I think the X-Men is the team that's kind of suffered the most by that, because I think they have the most convoluted backstory of any of the flagship Marvel teams. And getting into X-Men now is kind of difficult.
Yeah, it's very intimidating. And I find I agree with that 100% because I really find that it's like on top of you having to know 50 years of X-Men history, you also have to know about any X-Men spin-off history. Like, you basically have to know that entire universe, which is so massive.
X-Men books today will always frequently name drop past events and past characters, and you kind of just have to know. The book expects you just to know all these little things about the X-Men.
Yeah. Like you said, my thing is it's Jeff Lemire. So I'm like, man, I really want to get it because Jeff Lemire is the man.
Of all of his books I've read, the only one that hasn't been good was Justice League United. But in a recent interview, he even agreed that book wasn't good. He said that up to now he hasn't been successful on team books, but he thinks that this is changing that now. He thinks that this is a team book he's actually proud of.
Oh yeah, exactly. I have to. I checked the YouTube page and we actually have a comment on the video.
Okay.
And it's directed towards Willow, and it's from Howler Mouse, who is a fellow YouTube member who has been making videos forever. He's like an original gangster, and he said that Willow nailed it when she said so little has changed with Marvel.
Yeah.
And yeah, I definitely think I think everyone can agree with that. That it's just kind of been ridiculous.
I mean, like they hacked this for like months, and then then it was nothing. I mean,
I kind of feel like this lineup of books might even be not as good as the previous books they had, because they've actually now been losing creators.
yeah.
Because Kieran Gillen is going away, Kelly Sue DeConnick is going away, Jonathan Hickman might be going away as well, Rick Remender's going away. They're kind of losing a lot of big names now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. I feel as time goes on, the readers, as much as people complain that there's not so much reading going on as speculating and selling the comics, I think the readers we're getting now are getting smarter and they're getting cheaper, and people I think are going to get fed. getting fed up with just like events that have nothing to do with anything, that have no impact. Because I know you and I, Trevor, have said it tons, that I'd much rather have a book that goes 700 issues and is contained in that book. Like, that's what I look for in a book. I don't want to have to buy 30 other books to know what's going on in an event.
Constant relaunches is not a good thing for someone who likes to actually collect issues. It gets really confusing, and it kind of messes up with one's collection.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I do want to say one random thing. Howling Commandos of S.H.I.E.L.D. #1. I think it looks terrible, but Man-Thing, they're bringing Man-Thing back.
Man-Thing's coming back, as well as Werewolf by Night as well. So yeah, that's interesting.
I haven't really decided. I almost thought about buying it because I really like Man-Thing, but I know it's gonna have a $3.99 price tag, and I can't do it. I can't do it.
I'm positive all of these books will be $3.99. I think.
With our luck, they'll probably all come out and they'll all be like $8.99. It's gonna be the new pricing.
That'll suck.
Of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm looking at the cover now. They have like 10 characters and only one woman, and that one woman is showing off her ass and tits. Good job.
Oh, now I feel really bad because I was like, oh wait, no, there's 2 women, but that was just a monkey standing on. The monkey kind of looks like Storm's head. I'm just saying. It's got the hair. Yeah, because that's the girl. Like, she's in the new Punisher book right now. Like, she's part of the Howling Commandos.
I don't even know what the Howling Commandos is.
Well, I mean, like, the old stuff, like, they were in a lot of, like, the Nick Fury books, and they're often referred to with Captain America, like, fighting in the war and stuff. But I'm not a big Howling Commandos fan, and I think it's also interesting that like, in the Punisher right now, the guy leading the Howling Commandos, I forget his name, but it's like a black guy, and he's nowhere to be seen in this. They've replaced him with, like, the old white guy from, like, the 70s.
So I just noticed, is Hawkeye an old man now?
I don't know, is he?
Well, look at the cover of Hawkeye issue 1. Is that supposed to be Hawkeye himself as, like, his old man?
Oh, yeah. Maybe that is.
So we have old man Hawkeye, old man Captain America, old man Logan.
That's right, because one of the books has Old Man Cap, doesn't it?
This is maybe secretly ingenious. Maybe they're going to start appealing to like an old folks home demographic. No one ever like reached out to that audience before in comics. Maybe this is going to make Marvel even more money.
Yeah, they've really hit a new demographic.
Superheroes.
Oh, we got him back. I was like, Will, he disappeared. But he is back.
Maybe Marvel plans on potentially killing off these people of old age now.
That would be amazing.
I think it would be an interesting move. Try and see the end of this list. I think I'm probably gonna continue with Nova as much as I complained about it.
So Nova has 2 Novas now?
Yeah, but basically by the looks of it, is we're back to Ryder in it, but Sam is still going to be in it, which is pretty cool. I really wasn't interested in the new Avengers at all. I didn't read Young Avengers though, so none of those characters interest me, I guess.
Oh, one of the new ones I just noticed actually. 1 year ago, when Ellis launched a new book, Moon Knight, I had no idea at the time who Moon Knight was, so I got into the book just knowing it was Ellis, which immediately became one of my new favorite characters in all of comics. I love Moon Knight now, and Ellis kind of got me into him. And now I see that Ellis is doing a new book with a character who I have no idea who it is. His name is Karnak, and I don't know who this is, but it's Ellis, so I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, I'm not sure who that is. How do you feel about Will? You'll like this. The new Ultimates book and Galactus being on the team.
That's pretty fantastic. Galactus isn't a team player, though. It's not gonna.
If they're not careful, he might just eat them all.
Probably gonna happen. He's considered the most powerful sentient being in all comic universe, like in DC, Marvel, anything.
I think it's pretty cool though. Like, did you see Trevor with the Ultimates? That like the Ultimates is almost an entirely female team, which has never happened with the Ultimates.
I am confused as to why we need the Ultimates.
Well,
The Ultimate Universe.
Yeah, this was my question because there is no Ultimate Universe. So I'm assuming they're going to make an Ultimate team and put it into the normal universe.
No,
So
I haven't been catching up with the Ultimate U in a long time. Like, this Ultimates book has Captain Marvel, but is this the same one who I've been reading, or is this the Ultimate version of that character?
good question, man. Good question. Trying to see. Obviously, because obviously I'm very excited for the new Sam Wilson Captain America.
Can we just pettingly nickname him Captain Falcon?
Captain Falcon. I'm just interested to see it because it looks like they're gonna break up and not be friends anymore. So I'm sure that'll last like 2 issues at least. But I don't know. I think we almost hit all the Marvel books. Do we even want to talk about Marvel anymore?
I missed a good 2 minutes of the conversation because my call dropped.
Yeah, you're too busy dropping out of calls.
Exactly.
We have a couple of comics branching off from Avengers Age of Ultron. We have monthly books now dedicated to Vision and Scarlet Witch, which might be interesting to check out.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I've never. I always feel like I'll get hate for it, but I'm not that big of a Vision fan. I know a lot of people like him, but I don't know. He's too nice, in my opinion.
I like that Vision is in the Avengers book that's coming out that I might be picking up because that'll give me a chance to like him, but I don't want to buy a solo book of him yet.
Yeah. See, that's kind of how I feel about Scarlet Witch too, though. Like, I've read like older Avengers stuff with Scarlet Witch, and I really like it, but I don't think I would want to read a solo comic.
So, what do you think about the Hulk, this new Hulk we have? Totally awesome Hulk.
I think, well, A, he's totally awesome, and B, I think they keep bouncing back and forth speculation, but I think everyone by now should know who it is. It's totally going to be this Chung guy that I want to say Pac made him. I think Pac created him. I was going to say Peter David, but I'm pretty sure it's Pac that made him. But like literally, the hair's a giveaway because that's the haircut that this guy's got.
Yeah, I don't even read Hulk, but I know all about this character now who's going to become the Hulk.
Yeah,
I don't. Why didn't it just announce it up front then?
I don't really know. I this is another shitty marketing scheme for Marvel, and I just don't get it. I don't get it. With a company as big as Marvel, you'd think that they could hire people over the age of 8 to deal with their marketing. Like, they literally just used that when they launched Captain America. When Steve Rogers left as Captain America, they did the exact same thing with the blank picture, and it's like, who's this going to be? And it's like everyone knew it was going to be Falcon. Like, everyone knew it was Sam Wilson the minute they put it out. Just tell us.
Oh, so one of the Avengers books coming out called The Uncanny Avengers. It looks like an Avengers book, kind of. Well, it has a bunch of mutants in it, which is a little odd. But this Uncanny Avengers book has Deadpool on the team. And it's actually written by the same guy who's writing the Deadpool comic, which is a comedy book. So is this Avengers book going to be a comedy team-up book?
Probably.
Probably. Who else is on that team?
It's Deadpool.
I remember.
It's Flaming Torch,
What?
Rogue, Deadpool, Flaming Torch, Rogue, Old Man, Steve Rogers, Quicksilver, Spider-Man, someone I don't know, and someone who's supposedly a brand new character. So.
Yeah, it's going to be a comedy book.
It's just gonna be Deadpool making jokes about old people.
And flirting with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I'll probably buy it.
At the end of the day, screw Marvel. That's what it's really coming down to.
Coming down to screwing all these comic book companies and starting your own comic book company.
That's right.
One that doesn't take a dip in quality for profit.
So do you feel
It's
like so do you feel like they realized that the Inhumans wasn't as taking off as much as they wanted them to? Because I feel like the Inhumans now is kind of taking a back seat compared to the push that they had been given. Because we have like less Inhumans books now than X-Men books.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because I mean, especially the last year, we're coming from like, it seems there's always like 3 Inhuman books on the go, and I think we just have Uncanny Inhumans now, don't we?
It's the only team-up Inhumans book, I think, unless is the Illuminati Inhumans?
I don't think. See, I stopped reading Inhumans, but I did read issue 0, because issue 0 of Uncanny Inhumans came out before Secret Wars. Which was kind of a piss off because Charles Soule, from what I remember, Charles Soule kind of took the blame, where he was like they just screwed up, where he was like, we had the issue ready to go, but then totally basically forgot that we had to stop writing it because Secret Wars. So now you have to wait till the end of Secret Wars to get the rest of the books. It was a good book, though. I liked it. I liked issue 0. It was a good book, especially for the fact that the Inhumans book basically hasn't had Black Bolt in it since it started. So
I feel like Soul is going to have a new comic in whatever new book set Marvel has coming out sometime soon that they haven't announced yet. I feel like Charles Soule has to be involved in at least one of those, because he's not involved. He's only has 2 books in this, and this is the kind of guy who can do like 10 monthly comics.
yeah.
Like he was doing the weekly Wolverines comic. which is a huge investment. But now that book's not going to happen now.
I feel like he should be like. I mean, I think he's good enough to do it. I have that much faith in him. Was there any other like comic tidbits of news that you can think of?
Valiant had a live conference a couple of days ago that I checked out.
Where they aired from the basement.
It wasn't a basement, but it might as well have been. It was such a ghetto presentation. For a whole month, Valiant announced this live summit they would be doing, and it turns out that someone was just filming it with a tablet. None of the actual creators speaking had like mics on, and it was being filmed from the audience. So like the audio is really muffled and bad, and I had to put my volume up on max just to know what anyone was saying. And then because it was being filmed in the audience, as soon as the audience applauded, my television almost exploded because of the sound.
Well, shit.
It was such a badly executed presentation, but it gave us a couple little bits of news. The miniseries Dr. Mirage is coming back in the fall. And what was the second one?
I don't know.
Someone else is coming back too. I think it's the Eternal Eternal Warriors coming back as well with a monthly comic. It was kind of small announcements-wise, actually, but the books themselves look good.
I think Valiant pays both of you to say that.
No, I don't. It's just the one superhero company now that doesn't annoy me.
True. Those are lovely nostrils you have there, Will.
Yeah, I dropped my phone.
Trying to think what else. I was gonna say before we get into any talks about like television or movies or anything, I do want to say, because we never really overly talk about it, but I really feel pressured that I need to step my game up and buy a PlayStation 4 so I can buy Arkham Knights.
Probably, but just definitely don't get it for a computer. Apparently it runs like shit on like high-end computers.
Yeah,
like NASA computers can't play that shit.
I think it is cool though that they announced the first like downloadable content is all Batgirl.
It's about time, considering I think like Arkham City it was like all Nightwing and Robin.
Yeah, I was gonna say neither of the. I was gonna say I don't think any of them have really had like Batgirl stuff, have they?
No, I don't think so. Arkham Origins had Deathstroke DLC. And I think, no, really wouldn't have had, because of how early on in Batman's career, really wouldn't have any Robin or Nightwing.
Yeah. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I definitely want to play it. It looks pretty badass.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking forward to eventually picking up a console and fucking getting a go on that. I swore, and I've been doing so good not swearing.
It's alright, man.
Oh.
We're just white trash, I guess.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's...
What?
I'm trying to think if there's any other like superhero-themed games coming out in the near future that would be worth talking about.
I'm sure there will be.
No, probably.
With all the movies.
Yeah.
Well, do we want to kick into what's everyone's thought about, they made it official, I guess, yesterday or whatever, that we still don't have a director for Black Panther?
That's unfortunate. What are they gonna do?
The whole thing was, it was rumored that Ava DuVernay was going to direct it. She directed Selma and had a lot of steam last year. A lot of hype for making that movie. She was nearly nominated for a Best Director, and a lot of people felt that she should have been. And everyone was very excited to have a black woman direct Black Panther. But once again, Marvels need to have a death grip on their creative control, pushed out a possible really good director. This is now like the third or fourth time that this has happened with their studios. They're more interested in making money than in keeping their product similar than they are actually making interesting movies. Because she would have brought something different to that movie that like a director for hire wouldn't have brought.
Well, it's like I was saying to Rowan at the before we started. To be a Marvel director at this point, you just have to have no creative integrity.
Like, there's a couple directors working for Marvel that work well within that system and kind of get their voice across. James Gunn did to an extent in Guardians of the Galaxy, but in terms of actually making movies that they want to make, that's just not happening. And it's not happening for DC's movies either. If you're not making a movie within Christopher Nolan's framework for DC, you're fucked at that company. And, like, at Marvel, like, you can't make your own movie if you want to do anything different either. Because I'm sure that the main reason why she left was for creative control reasons.
She'll make her own Black Panther movie with poker and hookers.
It's yet again, not just with comics, but Marvel is frustrating with all things. I agree, though. Marvel just needs to let loose, I think.
Like Ant-Man is coming out in 3 weeks, and Ant-Man would have been really, really cool if Edgar Wright had made it. It would have been really great.
Yeah, I agree with that. And, like, I know, like, a lot of the stuff, when you read comments online, a lot of people are like, oh, you know, Marvel's done so well, like, leave them alone, they know what they're doing. And see, I don't even argue that. But my thing is, like you said, they could do more interesting and different things with the movies.
The thing about Marvel is they're completely safe in terms of making money. They can take risks if they want to, and they'll be fine, but they refuse to do so. Marvel's good at making money, they're not good at making movies.
Yeah, exactly. Which, sadly, I don't have Marvel's money, so I guess I can't complain.
You cannot. They should just let Stan Lee write everything, and then
Yeah, that would...
problem solved.
Stan Lee.
That Stan Lee didn't write any Marvel comics, but that's a different discussion.
Yeah, I know.
I was gonna say.
He what? He
how
makes
long till
characters.
someone makes an anti-Stanley comment. So I guess other than that, what about what's everyone's opinion on Ant-Man? I think we've got all the trailers. Like, I think the last one came out basically. Like, is this something we're rushing to the theater to see, or?
I might give it a week. See what the reviews come out and say about it.
Yeah.
Not gonna be like Avengers.
I might watch on its last day of showing. I do want to see it in cinema just because I've seen mostly all of the MCU movies in cinema, and I just like keeping a tradition going. But I'm so exhausted from the movie franchise now.
Sadly, I plan on going like the first or second day it opens.
Of course you are.
I'm so excited, man. I'm sorry, guys. I love Ant-Man. Ant-Man on the screen is a dream.
I'd love it if it was Hank Pym.
So would I. So would I. I'll have to live with this for now and hope that he finally gets his wishes.
Well, Trevor got his wish, so I mean, anything's possible.
That's right. Trevor proved the fact that wishes are possible.
I got a Brian Lee O'Malley monthly comic. I'm so happy.
And then I said we'd bring up and discuss. Anyone watching, I don't want to say like fact. It's just a rumor mill, and we all know how rumors go with comic books right now. That most of them never come to fruition. But what's your opinion on Tom Wellington possibly playing Superman on television again, specifically in CW's world?
Well, there goes Trevor's option for opinion.
Trevor, you're supposed to start the conversation off with "fuck CW."
Oh, but that's bad. That's bad language.
No. I mean,
You can't say fuck CW when we watched iZombie for 13 straight weeks.
I'll say CW.
Well, their opinion's changing.
Obviously, as a Superman guy, I appreciated Smallville for what it was. I've seen a lot of the people kind of excited that would happen, and the people not excited. I can see the problematic things. I mean, first and foremost, the big issue is that it doesn't matter how minor of an appearance. The minute Superman enters one of those episodes, he's going to overshadow everything in that episode and show. No, more people care about Superman than they care about Flash, I think.
I worry about the villain for that episode, or like if he's there for like a half a season or something. The villains have to get way tougher, and it'd be something that like Flash wouldn't be able to handle by himself at that point.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and like I said, I think it would cause too much of a stir, especially when they're trying to launch Supergirl on CBS, and I just think it would overshadow it. And as well as I think if anyone was going to get Superman, Supergirl, you would think would kind of get Superman first. I don't know, my thought. A lot of people that think it's going to happen are saying that they're going to use Tom Wellington because they're going to somehow, since Season 1 Flash has introduced the TV world to the multiverse, that they're going to use it to explore the multiverse, and Tom Wellington will be coming directly from like the show Smallville's part of the multiverse.
The more you know.
I don't know. I don't think it'll happen. I mean, we all know, like, you're not going to see Batman on TV, nor do I think you'll see a full-out Superman on TV. I just don't see it happening. I think DC's way too protective of those two characters, and like Willow said, I think especially with those characters have to be Nolan if they're going to be presented in DC's mind.
Well, I mean, even the CW stuff is very Nolan-ish.
It is. Like I said, I think there's lots of other characters they could use other than those big ones. But hey, that's just my opinion. Was there anything else you guys wanted to talk about, or? I see we're over an hour.
We can discuss Conan and Santa Claus again.
Just do another hour dedicated to Conan and Santa Claus.
The only Santa Claus worth bringing presents down my chimney.
Was there anything else, Trevor or Willow, you wanted to bring up that we didn't think about?
No, I think we got a good handle on all of the new comics coming out.
Yeah, I think so. Will made fun of me before you got here, Trevor, but you will notice yet again I totally forgot about a contest. Like 100% forgot.
He's fucking up.
So I'm putting it in my phone. Next episode, I will have something in my hand to give away to you. If we don't, we will give you Trevor. He is our
And his
gift.
pizza. He'll give you Trevor and pizza.
Trevor and 2 slices of pizza.
Only 2?
One for each nipple.
Censor. So I guess we'll leave it off there. Like I said, we've been going for an hour. So I see we had like quite a few viewers compared to normal. So thank you everybody for watching. I think we're back on track now. So I think more people are tuning in because we're back on a schedule.
Hopefully.
As always, I'm Rowan. Thank you for watching. I'll let you guys say bye.
This is Trevor and Willow signing off.
This is Will Toodaloo.
See ya.
See ya. Subscribe, comment. We'll comment back. Like the video. If you're going to dislike it, at least say that you disliked it because you hate Will.
Exactly. All that social media jazz. Tell me to fuck myself. I'll appreciate it.
Oh yeah, and before we go, all the information's in the description. If you made it this far into the video and you're not watching this live, then I'm sure you already knew that because you're probably not stupid. So long.